Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and guess where I am? I'm at the Laundromat. I've never done a video here before. No, I've done a lot of videos here, but it's had a lot of changes going on over the last month or so that I have owned it. So this is in a small town in Kersey, Colorado, and I bought this laundromat. It was in a little bit of disrepair. It wasn't nearly as pretty as it is now. And we keep adding stuff. We just added these benches out front so that people have a place to sit now outside because there is not a lot of room inside. And the trash can wasn't ideal out here, but it did provide a nice place to be able to lock the benches down so they don't disappear. And we got a better trash can, if you noticed, too. Now, besides the laundromat, there's also a car wash shop and apartment that came with it, too. So here is what the laundromat looks like inside, and it is so much better and so much different than it was before. We still need more machines. We don't have very many, but I've been working on that. I actually found a couple of used ones I'd like to buy that are smaller, but then I also need to find some bigger ones, and we'll kind of show you some of the machines and stuff I'm looking at the end. And one of the other things we did, which was a suggestion from YouTube, was we painted our old dryers. So people love those. They might not be efficient, they might not make much money, but for right now, they're staying. We have a new sink going in here soon. We did new flooring, new paint. We've done a lot of work here, and we're also working on the apartment in back too. So eventually we may redo that table or get new tables as well. It's kind of covering up where new machines might go. We're doing much better. And the last week has been a little tricky with revenue and bringing money in because we've been working on it, and it's been a little awkward with people who are still coming in and doing laundry while we're working on it, but it's better. Some people also suggested we move the vending machine, but it kind of keeps people from smashing their head on the old heater right there, and I'm 6'1" and would probably hit it. So for right now, that's where the vending machine goes, and we're just slowly making improvements and repairs. We have people stop by all the time just saying how happy they are to see the outside being revamped and the inside, and it's really been a big hit with the town.
17 PSI.
So here's the back apartment, and something that a lot of people had asked, and it was bothering me a little bit, is you see that door right there by the car wash. Well, some people thought there might be a room we missed, and I was beginning to wonder that too. But first, the car wash has been working, but we didn't realize one of our air compressors was out. And so the soap and rinse and everything was working except for the tire cleaner and the foam brush. And so we're working on that. But you can see that door right there, and some people had pointed out they thought the space in between those windows was much shorter on the inside than the outside. And when I looked back at pictures and videos, I kind of thought the same thing. But once we got here and measured it, it is the same. So that door does literally just go into that wall. There's no space between, there's no secret room. I was getting my hopes up for one, but it is not there. And then there's also a window in the car wash as well, and that's covered up right there. So you can see that window is flush against the wall. There's no secret room, it's just covered up. And that compressor on the left is the one that went out that we need to replace so everything works. As always, I collected money while I was here, and here's one of the old big ones where sometimes we have money in it, sometimes we don't. Again, it's tricky to get money out, but there's actually more here than there has been. So I don't know what goes on with those. Maybe some people know how to work the system, maybe some people don't. But for right now, we're working on revamping things, making it better. And later on, we'll see about those machines and what we want to do there if we want to change it. And they are the most annoying to open and close as well, because it's just a giant screw that goes into the back of the machine. It's not just a simple locking mechanism. And these are the newer dryers, which are Dexter, which is the same type of dryer, just way newer. And this one too has been weird because sometimes that one has a lot of money in it and sometimes it has almost none. So it makes me wonder that one, I don't know if people just don't like that one and don't use it, or if there's something else going on with it as well. And then these, which one of them is out of order and doesn't work, as you can see, usually has the most money in it. So it's kind of weird how the one that only has one working usually gets the most money, or maybe people have just had experience using these far longer than I have, and they know which one works the best, and maybe that top one right there works the best. And then the far ones usually have money in them as well. And yep, there's some money there too. So the dryers actually did decent. Obviously, we're still not making as much money as we need to, pay all the bills, but that's not important yet. That'll be more important later on if we, redo things and revamp everything, and then it's still losing money, then that's a bad thing. The washers have been, fairly consistent. It's always a trick getting the right keys and stuff. I labeled them all. Then our contractors kind of moved everything around when they painted and did the flooring, and so my labels mean nothing anymore, so I need to redo those at some point. So I'll do that here eventually. And we also need to they are still a little bit dirty. This one is only $1.50, but it's also much smaller. So this one has a way smaller bin, so that's why it's cheaper. Again, trying to figure out the keys can be a little bit tricky, but there's money in them. They did okay, and even with all the work that has been done, people are still coming, and I think more people are coming than before. So hopefully when the word gets out, we'll just have a lot more people, a lot more business, and we'll see if it is actually a viable business, because it is something I've always wanted to do and have, but as many of you know and can see, I don't really know what I'm doing. So that's part of the learning experience, and the fun for me is learning how the business works and doing all the little things to get it running. And that's what I do at the liquor store too, to figure out how the business works and if it makes sense to keep it going. So I know there's a lot of demand for laundromats. A lot of people said they would have bought this one had they known it was for sale, and it wasn't really for sale. It's kind of an off-market deal. Someone actually messaged me from YouTube, and so that's how I got it. Vending machine, again, has been a disappointment, but we were still trying to find a pop machine, still trying to find other machines. We'll see if we can find anything, a little bit of money in there. But we did better than last week at this time so far, as far as washer, dryer money, and we'll have totals at the end of this week for what we made on all of those. And the car wash has been doing a little bit worse than when I first got it. And again, part of that issue might be the foam brush not working, although I don't know if that compressor's ever worked right. I don't think it was working right when I bought it either. I just didn't realize that that's what it was, how the foam brush and tire brush worked. So one of the main things is we took the signs down from the building saying it had a car wash because we're doing some painting, some other work. So we put those back up, so maybe that will help again, because I did talk to someone in the laundromat today, and he said, oh, I didn't know the car wash was open. I thought it was closed. So, and that could be from the previous lady who was working the laundromat parking in the car wash bay too. And he said they had a flea market and garage sale in the car wash bay as well last time he tried to go through it. So if people know it works and it's open, that could also help too. So I said I want to talk about machines and buying stuff, and people said, oh, they're so easy to find. You just go on Facebook or Craigslist and you can buy them all the time. Well, you can buy lots of washers and dryers on Craigslist and Facebook, but they're not exactly the right kind and what I want. So there's all kinds of different sizes. Some go by pounds and cubic inches. Speed Queen tends to be the best machines, what most people want. And a lot of people have Speed Queen 20-pound machines, which are basically 3.5 cubic feet and pretty similar to the machines I have now volume-wise. The big difference is they're front-loading, they save on water, and they wash clothes better from what I've learned. So there is an advantage to front-loading machines, but they're not really any bigger than what I have right now. If you want to get bigger ones, you kind of have to go to the 30 or 40-pound machines, like something like this, and then those can handle multiple loads, much heavier loads, comforters, big blankets, things like that. And so I've talked to a number of people of appliance stores about getting the bigger ones. Nobody has them. So I've talked to national laundromat shops, and I can't get anybody to call me back or talk to me yet. So I'm still working on that. It's been a work in progress. I can get used or new 20-pound machines, no problem. I've actually got a couple that I'm trying to work on getting right now, but the bigger ones are way harder to find. So there are some for sale. These are, whoops, sorry, didn't mean to get that on there. Get off of here. There we go. Like 30-pound machines listed on some sites, but again, it's really hard to get a hold of anybody to know if they're actually still for sale. You can see these are listed at $2,100, which is fairly cheap compared to what I have seen. Other ones, here's a 40-pound one for over $4,000. This is a used machine, not new. So they're very expensive to get the big ones. And as many of you know who might use laundromats, they're also very expensive to use those big ones as well. So the plan is to get a couple of the front load 20-pound machines, and then a couple of bigger 30 or 40-pound machines, and keep the working top load older machines as well, and see how that goes. So again, it's easier said than done finding these, and people have been emailing me and commenting and say, oh, I just saw some for sale on Facebook. You know, they're all over. If you can find 30 or 40 pound machines for sale on Facebook, those tend to be a gold mine from what I've seen so far. I did find one person who had some for sale before I bought it, and by the time I bought the Laundromat and talked to him again, he said, oh, those sold the first day I listed them. So they're hard to find. I'm sure I can get some, but it might take some time to find those big machines with that poundage. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but that's how it goes. All right, so that's the Laundromat. That's how it's going so far. Making progress, getting better, and it'll be really exciting to get some new machines in there, see how they do. We're fixing the car wash as we speak. Not only was the air compressor not working, but the hose for the brush was just spraying water everywhere. So I didn't even think to use the brush. I did test out washing one of my cars there, but I never used those foam brushes on my cars. I'm just paranoid that we'll scratch it. So I know some people love them and use them all the time, but I guess we should have tested that out before. And we'll have that apartment done soon. We'll show that here coming up. And then we have to decide, hey, do we just rent that out to someone else, or do we try and get a laundry attendant, someone who can, help out with the room, do different things there, or do we want to try, washing and folding and dry services? There's all kinds of decisions to be made here, and I am trying to take my time and take it slowly as I learn everything that's going on with this business. All right, there's the update. We'll have many, many, many more coming up here soon, and updates on our other flips, rentals, businesses as well. Thanks for watching. Be back soon.